Ha 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 ha! You thought chess was for nerds. You thought chess was for losers. You thought chess was only for that weird kid in high school wearing the plaid pants. But now, suddenly, you have the desire. Suddenly, you want to play. No, you need to play. All right, I'll teach you. You get 8 pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first move the pawn makes, you can go 2. 1, 2. 2 spaces. The first move only. After that, you have to go 1. If you make a pawn all the way to the other side of the board, you get whatever piece you want, usually a queen. And now you have 2 queens. Pawn. This is the knight. The horse goes in an L shape. Up 2 over 1, or up 1 over 2. Always an L. You see the L? The knight is the only piece that can hop over other pieces. If you have some pawns up front, the horse can literally hop over them all. It's awesome. Bishop. The bishop moves diagonally as far as the board will allow. You get 1 dark square bishop, dark square, light square. You get 1 dark bishop and 1 light bishop. They will never cross. They will always stay on their lines of fire. Just like the knight captures the pawn by landing on it. The bishop also captures the pawn diagonally, just like pawns capture pawns by landing on it. Any piece can kill any piece except the king. The kings are infinite points, and they will never be touching like this because you can't put yourself in check. Check means the king is being attacked. The king is infinite points. The queen is 9. Bishop, knight, 3. Rook, 5. Pawns are 1. The rook goes side to side, up and down. The queen has the powers of the bishop and the rook combined. Remember, we said bishops go diagonally. They stay on their color. Rooks can go side to side, up and down. The queen can do both. The queen can go diagonally, across the board. She can go up and down, side to side, all around. She's the most powerful piece on the board, worth 9 points. The king, similar to the queen, don't get these two confused. The king will have a little cross on his head, and the queen will have a crown. The king can move any direction, but only 1 space. Only 1 space at a time. He can go diagonally across the board, but only 1 at a time. He can go up and down, side to side, diagonal, but only one space at a time. He's very slow. So you have pawns. They are on the front lines of your army. You get 8 pawns. You have the rooks in the corner. The rooks again go side to side, up and down. Then you have the knights. The knights move in an L shape. Like so. Then you have the bishops next to them. The bishops are diagonal. They stay on their color. Then you have the queen on her color. White queen means white square. Black queen on black square. Then you have the king. The pieces should always be facing each other. So the queen and the king are exactly mirroring each other. Queen to queen, king to king. And how you know how to set up the board, this H1 square in the corner here on white side, is white on right. White square on the right side of the board. That's how you set it up. Pawns, rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, same for black. White goes first, then black, and each side can only move once at a time. One time you move. If you want to move up 2, your first move, the pawn can do that. Black mirrors it. Move out a knight. Attack this pawn. Black comes out with its knight and defends the pawn. Now I don't want to kill this pawn by landing on it because the knight is worth 3 pawns. Knights and bishops are 3 points. The pawn is only 1. So if I get this pawn, then he's going to get me. The knight moves in an L shape, lands to capture. So I don't want to lose that horse. That wouldn't be worth it. So white moves up, black moves up, horses come out. I'm gonna move this bishop over here. He's gonna move his horse out. I'm gonna move my horse. He moves his pawn up. I move my pawn up. His bishop comes out. My bishop goes up. Now there's a thing called castling. Castling. And that is the king and the rook's relationship. If there's space here, notice the knight and the bishop are no longer here, right? They've moved out of the way. If there's space and the king and the rook both have not been touched, I can't move here and then come back. This rule won't apply. As long as they haven't been touched yet, I can move the king over 2 and the rook hooks on the other side, and that is considered one legal move. Both pieces move. You get to move 2 pieces for the price of 1. It's a good defensive move, strategic position, and it hides the king away in the corner where you want him to be away from all of the enemy attacks and accessibility. It's called castling, and remember, both pieces can't be touched. So if you move your rook and then come back, you can't castle. They have to be untouched. Move the king over 2, 1, 2. Put the rook on the other side. If you play online, all you have to do is move the king over and they will automatically, the system knows that you're trying to castle and they will move the rook to the other side. This is called a king's side castle because it's the king's side of the board. This is the queen's side of the board. You can also queen side castle, same thing. Move the king over 2. You're always moving him over 2, and the rook will come on the other side. It is moving 2 pieces, but it is actually considered just 1 legal move. We mentioned if you get a pawn all the way on the other side of the board, you get whatever piece back you want. Can be a queen. Yes, you can have multiple queens on the board at one time. Very powerful. Very rare to see it, but very powerful if that's your situation. One special note for the pawns. If you have a pawn, let's say I'm here, I've moved them like this, and my pawn is here. So I go from here to here, and you move your pawn up 2 on its first move. This is called en passant. En passant, French for in passing, while the pawns are passing each other. If your first move, has to be your first move, goes up 2 spaces to put yourself right next to me, I can then move behind you and capture you that way. And the piece will disappear again if you play online. But it has to be your first move. You can't go up, white moves, and then you go up again. That's not en passant. You can't do that. It has to be your first move. It's not next to each other, in front of each other. It's not pitted against each other. It's right next to each other. Your first move, you go up 2. I can then move behind you for the capture. It's called en passant. Use it as much as you can, as much as you want to. It's a lot of fun, a lot of strategy involved. So, putting the king in check. This is what the game is all about. You're not trying to kill the king. You're just trying to trap the king. And every piece can check the king except a king. Remember, we said the kings will never be touching because you can't put yourself in check. Chess 101, rule number 1, you can never put yourself in check. You always have to settle a check first before you do anything else. The queen moves up and down, side to side, diagonal, like I taught you. So this is a check. If I move from here to here, the king is in check because the king is on her line of fire now. So he has to move out of the way. He moves. I check him again. He moves. Check, moves, check, moves. Check, moves, check, moves. And you can check the king with any piece. The pawn can check a king. Check. Because the pawn is directly attacking the king now. If the king had other pieces, let's say he has a few other pieces, and I go up here for a check, the king cannot move the horse somewhere, cannot move the bishop, cannot move the rook, because he's in check. You have to settle the check first before you move on to other things. So the pawn is in check. I can retreat, move away, or in this case, because nothing's defending the pawn, I can just kill the pawn. And I've ended the check. If there was another pawn here, and I go up for check, check right here, I cannot kill the pawn because the other pawn is defending it. And the king can never kill something that's being defended. Other pieces can, but not the king. And every piece can check a king. The knight can check a king by moving here. Check. And you say it out loud. When you're playing and you attack someone's king, you just say, check. And he has to move. Check. He has to move. The bishop can check the king. Check. The queen can check the king from multiple directions. The rook can check a king. Check. Check. What checkmate looks like is, let's say you have these two pieces, the queen and the rook. Black's turn to move. He moves here. I go here, cutting off this entire line. So now he can't move up. He can't go here. He can't go here. And he can't go here. All he can do is move side to side and stay on this line, on this area, because the queen has this place covered. So black moves over here. I move the rook down here. Checkmate. That's the end of the game. Because he's in check with the rook and he can't move. He can't retreat. Checkmate means the king is in check, being attacked, but can't retreat. He can't go here. He can't go here. He can't go here. Can't go here. Can't go here. That's checkmate. Another way checkmate looks is like this. Let's say I'm over here. He moves over here. Well, let's say it's like this. Black's turn to move. He goes here. I can move the queen here. Defended by the rook, so he can't capture me because the queen is being protected. That's checkmate. That's the end of the game. And there's lots of ways that this can happen. You can check him with multiple pieces that are different. If he was here, that's checkmate. Because he's in check with the bishop. Can't move here to retreat because the rook has this covered. Can't move here. Can't move here. Everything is a line of fire. He's in check, and so that's checkmate. He can't go anywhere. Remember, checkmate means you can't retreat, but you are being attacked. If you aren't in check, but you can't go anywhere, it's a stalemate. If you are not in check, but you can't go anywhere, it's a stalemate. So let's say I have these positions here. Let's say it's like this. It's black's turn to move. Let's say I go right here. So he's here, he goes there, I go here. That's stalemate. It's a tie, it's a draw, 0-0. Neither party gets any points. Is he in check? Is something attacking him? No, the queen is here, or here, but not attacking him directly. The rook is not attacking him, but he can't go anywhere. He's trapped. He can't go here. He can't go here because the queen has got him pinned in the corner. So that's a stalemate. And there's multiple reasons that you would have a stalemate. There's this stalemate, you can't move anywhere. You're not in check, but you can't move anywhere. You can also stalemate by moving the same pieces 3 times or more. So check, he moves, check, he moves, check, check. And you both have to go the exact same squares over and over and over again, a max of 3 repetitions, and that's a stalemate, that's a draw. Prevents the game from going on forever and ever and getting really obnoxious like that. Another way you could stalemate is an inadequacy of pieces. You can't checkmate a king if you just have a king and a knight, or a king and a bishop. It'll be a draw because you don't have enough power There's no way you could trap him without him always being able to move. There's nothing you can do. You could be at this all day. So, multiple reasons to have a stalemate. You want to avoid those. Just because you have all the pieces on the board, you could totally be winning, having most of the pieces on the board just dominating, but you still lose the game because your king gets trapped first. It's not about winning a bunch of pieces. A lot of people just want to destroy everything and eat up everything, but then they end up losing the game because the queen comes down and they weren't prepared. They didn't know what to do. Checkmate. So there's a lot of strategy involved. You could study this for years before you become an expert. So we went through everything. The pawn on its first move can go up 2. If the pawn gets to the end, it can become a queen, the most powerful piece on the board. Pawns, if they are directly next to each other, en passant, can move behind each other for the capture. Other than that, they always capture diagonally. Okay? Knights move in an L shape. L, 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 L. And they are the only piece that can physically hop over other pieces. Bishops go diagonal. You get one of each type of square. Rooks go side to side and up and down. The pieces can't go through other pieces. The knight can hop over, but the pieces can't go through each other. So you can't go through and hop over. You have to stop where the piece is. What a game could look like. This is a very common opening. You want to start in the center. You want to start with these center pawns. Maybe get your bishops out, get the knights working, get the queen, castle, defend with some pawns. You don't want to do what a lot of beginners do, and they start on the ends and they get their rooks out first. This makes no sense. You don't want to put your rooks out because the bishops can easily come and attack, and the bishop's worth a lot less than a rook. In fact, a lot of people will believe that if you lose a rook to a bishop at the beginning of the game is pretty much over because of such a big point value deduction. It's such a big difference in points. So don't be a beginner, amateur, novice and put your rooks out at the beginning of the game. Be patient, strategize, move your army forward, and save them for the end. Plus, if you move your rooks out, you can't castle. Now you can't castle because there's no rook to protect you. It's a very stupid move. I don't suggest it at all. You want to start in the center, get your pieces out, get your knights out. And have fun. All right, let's play a real game. We'll do 5 minutes. Chess.com. Play against anybody in the world. This guy is from the Netherlands. He's a 1283 and I'm a 1260. I'm a baby, so we'll see how he does. Or I mean, we'll see how I do. There's a lot going on. Can't do that. He just gave up. I think he made a stupid move though. When he moved this bishop here, it presented the opportunity to capture my queen right here, and he didn't do that. I don't think he saw that either, because when I killed that, he kills that. I think he missed that. I think we both missed that. Let's try another game. New 5-minute rematch or match with somebody else. Just kind of look at the pieces, learn how they move. If anything, you'll pick up some basic strategy just by watching a couple games. I'm going to bring all my pieces out so I can castle on the left side here. He just castled here. I'm going to castle here. Move the king over too. The rook hooks over. You better move that queen or she's gonna die. My next move is checking him here and attacking the queen with the rook. There you go. Very smart. Probably move up this pawn. There you go. Maybe he'll capture this pawn. We'll use it as bait. We'll trap him if he does. I don't think he will, though. There you go. Good move. He's coming down hard with the pawns.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks.
Now he's mine. He quit. He gave up. Let's see if we can play another person. All right, let's do one last game. Ooh. That might be the game. He might have just won the game. I don't know. We shall see. He was close. Almost won. He resigned. 3 resigners in one night. Not a bad record. Alright guys, have fun with it. Let me know if you have any questions.